Hey everyone, welcome back to Lunch Bunch. I am continuing from Rags and Bones, New Twists on Timeless Tales, and we are reading New Chicago by Kelley Armstrong, which is inspired by The Monkey's Paw. So Cole and his brother Tyler live in a city called New Chicago. It's 10 years after a virus has infected most of the world, and the infected have changed, so they are now, they're mean, basically. But in New Chicago, there's no one infected there, but it's still a hard place to live. There's not a lot of food, not a lot of clean water. And Cole has pickpocketed a rich man and taken a monkey's paw, an actual paw of a monkey, from his jacket. And the paw is supposed to grant you 3 wishes, but you need to be very careful with what you wish for. So we're going to figure out what happens with Cole if he, makes any wishes. Okay. Tyler was in a foul mood, which was rare. It was usually Cole who grumbled while Tyler soldiered through. Today was different. Cole knew that as soon as he saw the candle burning. Tyler often joked that they had a penthouse apartment. Not only was it on the top floor, but they even had a second story. The roof had been blasted off, so the upper floor was 4 walls with no ceiling. Those walls, though, cut most of the wind, and they could spend the daylight hours up there and save their candles and lantern oil. If Tyler was staying on the first floor and burning a candle mid-afternoon, something was wrong. "Where were you?" Tyler demanded as Cole crawled in. His brother was sitting on a chair, actually a crate, but they called them chairs. He was playing solitaire with a worn deck, slapping the cards down onto another crate, this one known as the dining room table. "Just walking, getting some air. Did you finish your schoolwork?" "I read 3 chapters in history and 2 of Moby Dick. I also swept and emptied the bucket, as you can see, and smell." Tyler sighed and gathered up the cards. "Sorry, bud. Rough day." "I see that. Catch." He tossed Tyler the remaining apple. The corners of his brother's mouth quirked. "Thanks." He started to take a bite and stopped. "Did you have one?" "Yeah, I already ate it." "Are you sure? You need more fruits and vegetables." "I ate one, Ty. Go ahead." His brother worried that poor diet was the reason Cole was so small. Cole doubted it. He remembered kindergarten, his only year of school before the world went to hell. He'd been the smallest kid there, too. But Tyler still worried. Some days, Cole thought that was the only thing keeping his brother going. Worries and problems, and the faint hope that he could still fix them. Tyler didn't ask where the apple came from. Cole was in charge of the money and the shopping. Tyler considered it a practical application of his math lessons, which made it easy for Cole to sneak extra cash into the kitty and put extra food on the table. Tyler took a bite of the apple, snuffed out the candle, and waited for them to go upstairs, where they pulled pillows and thick old blankets out of a box. Cushioned and bundled against the cold, they rested, enjoying the faint warmth of the late-day sun. "So, what happened at work?" Cole asked. "Same stuff, different day." Tyler paused and then looked over. "When you were out, did you hear anything? Rumors? News?" "Like what?" Another pause, longer now, until Cole pressed. "They say one of the infected got in," Tyler said. "Again? What's that, the 3rd time this month?" "Yeah, it's getting worse. They always catch them, but the fact that they're getting in..." Tyler shook his head. "Just be careful, okay, when you're out?" "I always am." After a moment, Tyler asked, "So, how much money do we have so far?" He said it casually, just an offhand question, but Cole knew it wasn't offhand at all. This was what was really bothering his brother, that the situation in New Chicago seemed to worsen so much faster than their stash grew. $468 to go, Cole said. Tyler swore. "We'll make it," Cole said. "Less than a year, I bet. I used to earn that much in a month, mowing lawns. Then I'd blow it on video games and movies." "We'll get there." Silence fell for at least 5 minutes. Then, without looking over, Tyler said, "We have enough to get you in." "No." "But we could." "No, Tyler, we go together, or we stay together. If you want to make money faster, let me work. McClintock offered me a job." "No." "But if I was working, we'd have enough." "No." And there was the impasse. Cole wouldn't go without Tyler, and Tyler wouldn't let him work for McClintock. Cole's job was studying. There were real careers in Garfield Park, like in the old days, doctors and business people and teachers. Most kids Cole's age couldn't even read and write. That would give him an advantage, Tyler said. Cole couldn't see how taking a few months off would make much of a difference, but he knew it wasn't really about that. It was about Cole staying away from McClintock and the life he offered. "We'll get there," Cole said. Tyler tried for a smile, pushed to his feet, and rumpled his brother's hair. "I know we will. I'm just in a mood. I need to go back to work. Big job tonight. I'll be late." "I'll lock up." Tyler laughed. "Yeah, you do that. And see if you can't get another couple of chapters read before the light's gone." It was only after Tyler left that Cole remembered the paw. He was sitting there, trying to come up with other ways to make money, when he remembered. Even then, he didn't think, "I can wish for money." He wasn't that stupid. Instead, he took it out, turned it over in his hands, and wondered how much he could get for it. "You could just wish for the money," he imagined Tyler saying. His brother would laugh when he said it, but there'd be a little piece that wouldn't be laughing. A piece that would be hoping, even if he'd never admit it. Tyler would make that wish, just in case. Cole chuckled softly to himself as he fingered the mangy fur. "All right, then. I wish—" "No. The old man said he had to be careful. Be specific." Cole closed his eyes. "I wish for $500. He sat there, clutching the paw. It felt familiar, and it took him a moment to realize why. It reminded him of another paw he'd had once, a rabbit's foot, that he'd insisted on buying on their last family road trip before H2N3 hit. His lucky rabbit's foot. He'd carried it everywhere for a month, and then stuffed it away in a drawer. The last time he'd seen it, he'd been making a wish, clutching it and praying that the bite on his mother's arm hadn't infected her, praying she'd walk out of the quarantine ward and come home and see the rabbit's foot, laugh, and say, "Good God, Cole, do you still have that flea-bitten old thing?" Of course, she hadn't come out. She'd been infected. When Cole opened his eyes, he could feel tears prickling. He swiped them away with a scowl, and then turned that scowl on the monkey's paw. "Yeah, you'll make me some money all right, as soon as I figure out how to sell you." Cole scoured the commercial section of New Chicago, the market, and the shops, trying to figure out where he could sell the paw. The old man had talked like people knew what it was, and Murray said he did. Was it a famous superstition, like a rabbit's foot? If it was, it had to be rarer. There were a whole lot more rabbits around than monkeys. But if it was too rare, could he sell it without someone realizing he'd stolen it? He was walking past the Hope peddlers when someone called, "You, boy!" He glanced over his shoulder to see the old man bearing down on him. Cole tensed to run, but he couldn't, not without causing a scene that would mean he'd be remembered here for weeks. He waited for the man to catch up. "If you want that money back, you said I could have it." "No, it's not that." The old man waved him to the side. He looked agitated, upset, not angry. Cole relaxed a little. "If you need some of the money back, I could," he began. "No." The old man turned. "It's something else. There was a paw." "A what?" "A monkey's paw." Cole fixed the man with his best look of confusion. "A paw from a monkey. I took that money, and only because you said I could. If you dropped anything else I didn't see. I gave the paw to a man." Cole stiffened. "If you're accusing me of stealing, I don't care if you filched it or found it." He met Cole's gaze imploringly. "This is very important. Do you have the paw?" Cole felt a flicker of guilt. Maybe he could just... No, it might be a trick, forcing him to admit to theft. "I don't have anything like that." Cole opened his jacket. "Go ahead and check." He'd left the paw safely in their cubby. The old man shook his head. "All right. I'm sorry, son. That's what the money was for, so I thought maybe you'd follow the man who got it. He said it was pinched from his pocket. He probably changed his mind and wants his money, without giving you the paw back. People do that kind of thing. They'll take whatever they can get here." "I know." The old man's words came out in a sigh. "I could look for it," Cole said. "I'm pretty good at finding things." A faint smile. "No, with any luck it's gone for good. I only hope that he got a chance to try it first." "Try it?" The old man clapped Cole in the back. "Nothing. Go on. I'm sorry to have bothered you." As the old man started to walk away, Cole called, "Wait. If I do hear about it, should I tell you, or does it go back to your friend?" "Oh, he's not my friend, and I would most gladly see him take the accursed thing. In fact, I'd pay to give it to him again." He paused. "Let's say $10, if you do hear of it. I'll let you know. Thank you." Cole had no idea what the old man had been talking about, but at least now he had a plan. He'd wait a day. He'd say he scoured the alley where they first met, and he found the paw there. $10 was more than he hoped to get selling it. Maybe the accursed thing did work. In its way. It was just like everything else in New Chicago. You have to lower your expectations. Significantly. Wish for $500? Get 10 instead. Cole laughed softly as he approached his building. Then he stopped. There were 3 men outside. 2 huge thugs and an older man in the middle. Russ McClintock. When they heard him coming, they all turned. Cole couldn't see their expressions in the gathering dark, but he called a greeting. Is Tyler looking for me? He asked, hooking his thumb toward the building. No, Cole. McClintock stepped away from his goons. I came to talk to you. Me? Is this about a job? It's about Tyler. Cole's heart began to thump. Tyler? Where? There was an accident on the job tonight. Tyler's team was scouting in one of the abandoned skyscrapers. The floor gave way. Your brother fell. Fell? Where is he? Is he okay? No, Cole, he's not okay. It was a long fall. He didn't make it. I'm sorry. I know how close you two were, and while it was an accident, I'd take care of my own. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a wad of bills. This is $500 for you. All right, we're going to pause there. And when we pick back up, we will see the conclusion to the story of the monkey's paw, and see if Cole makes any other wishes, or if he regrets making the wishes in the first place. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next time. Bye.